up a tough shot. Passes around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's population.
That's how you win a game.
It's population. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's population. We robbing underdog and prize picks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's population. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Boogie setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the bros. Only with crawl, never reload. Underrated them out, amigos. We go with honest, we seeking the bloods. We know when a fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, it can't be good for my health. Some might call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks, population for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now, let the games begin.
Unbelievable. Just perfect. He did it.
It's population. It's population. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
Yo, what is up, guys? How are we doing tonight, E?
Doing pretty well. Man, it was a pretty crazy evening of basketball, but overall I think we came out a little ahead.
Oh yeah. And a lot of core stuff we talked about last night came through. I think we had loaded up KD's RA, Cam Johnson's assist, and we talked about look out for Bobby Portis, first half PRA, and he did his thing as usual against the Hornets. So yeah, all those came through, and the Spurs Thunder was fantasy goldmine. So yeah, solid night overall. Tomorrow's different, right? Like today we had a pretty clean injury news slate, but tomorrow we got a lot of guys questionable, and I think it's going to hold back a lot of props for a while. So the board's pretty limited right now. So we'll have to navigate through that. But maybe since it's so limited tonight, maybe we could talk about plays that aren't on the board, and we can potentially try to get on tomorrow for a few minutes and just point out plays that we like once they drop. Because man, have we looked at this board? It's so dry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are really holding out on a lot of props right now, and the ones that they're given are fairly stingy. Nothing crazy value-wise, and as you mentioned, all the pending injury news that we're going to be looking out for, it's gonna make some overnight leans a little tricky.
Yeah, we got let's see, we got Luka questionable, right? We got Donovan Mitchell questionable. I believe Ayton's questionable, and I think that's what I saw so far. I can't remember if any of the Timberwolves guys are questionable. They've been questionable pretty much every game. Yeah, so yeah, those games that I mentioned, we won't have props for a while. But I think we can talk about some potential plays here. We basically have run back of the same matchup we just saw between the Pacers and Pelicans. Halliburton, how do you feel about him? He had 22 potentials in that game, finished with 13 assists. He went back to his normal, 20-plus potential game. But prior to that, he was kind of all over the place with his potentials. But it's the Pelicans. They ranked third recently over the last 15 games in most assists allowed to point guards, just due to how much three balls they give up on catch and shoot threes. So want to go back to that 10.5? I'm sure I'll bump by 11 tomorrow, but yeah, just got to worry about those potentials. And I think Siakam, he only had 7 potentials, but we saw him finish with 5 in this matchup. because he was passing off the 3-point shooter. So wouldn't hate that either. What's your thoughts on those?
Yeah, the Siakam definitely caught my eye at first. I will say the potentials for him have been a little bit down. He's kind of went from second to third in the pecking order. Now we've seen TJ McConnell really stepping forward and still honestly in pretty limited minutes. I mean, he's barely playing 20 minutes if that. But the more he plays, he kind of just siphons off from the rest of the guys. So I think, as you mentioned, the best value is probably with Halliburton here. Getting him in at 10-5 feels pretty nice, and also double on Underdog or whatever sites they're offering them.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if we get, it's not on the board yet, but when we do get it, oh wait, we got first quarter props. Not that game though. If we get Miles Turner at 4.5 points first quarter, he soared over that in this matchup, and he's been doing it a lot lately. It just seems like they run the offense through him in the first quarter so much, and his usage is the highest in the first quarter. I wouldn't mind that, but okay. Where other props were you eyeing on this limited board?
Actually, going back to that game, I think one of my favorite props on the day has got to be McCollum. His 3.5 rebounds. He just absolutely smashed that against them, and it makes sense. They shoot so many threes, and with their defense actually stepping up quite a bit for Indiana. They're leaving a lot of rebounding to the guards here, and we've seen a lot of them just completely smash this. And 3.5 seems really low for him.
Yeah, I agree. He's a solid rebounding guard.
Yeah, and he's also minus 130 in the books right now.
It's good value. Yeah. Okay, definitely see that bumping. In that game, how many free throws did Brandon Ingram end up taking? And to no surprise, because it's the Pacers, right? So I would definitely look out for his free throw prop tomorrow. I think he lived at the line that game.
Yeah, he had 13 of 13.
It's like almost half his points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we can't really talk about the Cavs because they only have Donovan Mitchell on here because he's questionable. So anything from the Detroit side, it's not a good matchup and massive pace down spot for Detroit here.
No, the only thing I would say maybe consider going back to under Cade while he's at 18 PRA in the first half. But
yeah.
Other than that, I think honestly this game is just gonna be a complete fade for me.
Yep. Okay, how about Boston here? If Luka's out, then obviously this has high blowout potential. But maybe we can get on some first half. Also, Dallas is really struggling on the glass and just getting tore up inside. So guys like Porzingis are definitely live, and Jalen's just been going off in the first half lately. Any interest in those? And then also, I think going back to free throw props here, but Dallas has been fouling like crazy. I don't know if you've noticed lately with this new lineup, and especially guys who are attacking the basket or near the basket in the paint. So I think if you look out for any of the Jaylen Brown or Porzingis free throws here, as long as Porzingis isn't just chucking threes all game. What's your thought on them, and how do you feel about any of their rebound potential here? They juiced Jalen. He's 5.5 in the books, but do you like Drew or Porzingis or Jalen rebounding here?
Yeah, honestly, man, I hate that I like all three of them. Going back to Porzingis here, it's gonna be the first time he's actually played Dallas since joining this team or different squad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's definitely in a prime spot here. A couple options you could consider for him. His first quarter points, I still never mind that at 6.5. It's got reasonable amount of juice on the over for it right now. But the free throws, we just targeted Miles Turner in the same matchup, and like Afro, Jared Allen, he absolutely demolished them on the inside. So I think for me, I'll probably the first half props the most appealing. I'm not really sure 1A, 1B yet, but Jaylen Brown, PRA definitely, and Porzingis, I think probably PRA as well in the other one, and just hedge those. Because if you look at the games that they played so far, the usage rate is pretty high between like Tatum and Brown. But Tatum, he just absolutely demolishes him on the glass. I mean, he's averaged a double-double every game in rebounds, and I think he smashed that PR in most of the games. He just turns into a 3-point contest for him. So full game prop, probably his PR, and then leave the first halves to those two other guys.
I like it. I like it. I agree.
And those have the best book value currently.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully Luka plays, because then you could feel better about taking full game props here. But it is in Boston. We know they play really well there. So, and if Luka's out, that makes it even worse. So we pretty much covered what's on the board. But let's just take a look at the game real quick. Any potential things that would be of interest. We got Bobby Portis returning to Chicago. He always gets up for those games, right? Might have to take a stab at it.
Yeah, he didn't even play that many minutes.
I wonder if go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm curious to see how Chicago plays this. Are they going to start Drummond and Vooch this game? Because if that happens, oh man, Portis is going to absolutely feast.
Yeah. And then the Clippers Wizards. If Zubac plays, I would definitely take his first half props. And all the centers just absolutely crush in the first half against the Wizards. So I imagine. I mean, he was just out due to illness, I believe. So I imagine he'll be back for this game. We'll see. And then also Kawhi's first quarter points in this matchup. Anything else standing out from these games? I mean, we got a few high spreads, but
keep an eye out for Draymond. His assist, he's definitely back in that pass first, do nothing on offensive usage now. Kuminga looked pretty great too. I could see a nice little inside game, and Curry probably isn't going to be chucking, with 16 threes or whatever he did again.
Yeah, it was because he was back in the Garden, and no, and Raptors no bleed assist, so I'm with that. And yeah, I wish Memphis had a viable center. I think Jaren Jackson is out, so yeah, because we always like to attack Portland, but if Ayton and Jaren Jackson's out, that's going to be a messy game in the interior. So yeah, we'll have to see what the news says and see if we can get back on the stream tomorrow. But it sounds good, guys. Yeah, I like if you wanted just a early value 2-pick, I'm with you on that. The Halliburton assists and McCollum rebounds. Some early value for what's available. All right, you got anything else, man?
No, that's gonna be it, man. Good work today, and hopefully you guys made some profit.
All right, man.